What if I told you? Most relationships don't break because of one big betrayal. They break because of small daily neglect. A missed conversation. An ignored feeling. A careless word. A delayed apology. And slowly, two people who once felt close become strangers. Not overnight. But quietly. That's how relationships die. Not always through hate. But through neglect. And if you're listening right now, this message might change the way you love, connect, and understand people forever. Because strong relationships are not built on grand gestures. They're built on habits. Simple habits. Repeated daily. And the scary part? Bad habits also destroy relationships daily. Without warning. Without noise. Without you even noticing. Think about it. How many relationships have ended because someone felt unheard? How many friendships faded because nobody reached out? How many families became distant because pride became stronger than love? Relationships are living things. And living things need care. A plant dies when ignored. So does connection. Before we go deeper, follow the Stoic Path for more wisdom on self-mastery, emotional intelligence, and stronger human connections. Because becoming stronger isn't just about discipline. It's also about how you treat people. Let's begin with the first habit. Habit number 1, listen to understand. Not to reply. To understand. This sounds simple. But very few people truly listen. Most people listen with their mouth already prepared. Waiting for their turn. Waiting to defend. Waiting to explain. But real listening? It makes people feel seen. And being seen is one of the deepest human needs. There's a story of an old married couple. 40 years together. Someone asked the husband. What's the secret? He smiled and said. I learned to listen when nothing was being said. Powerful. Because communication isn't just words. Sometimes silence speaks louder. A heavy sigh. A tired face. A quiet voice. These things speak. But only to those paying attention. A woman once came home exhausted. She didn't ask for advice. She didn't ask for solutions. She just wanted her husband to listen. But instead, he interrupted. Fixed. Corrected. Explained. She became frustrated. Not because his advice was bad. But because she wanted connection first. Solutions later. That's important. People don't always need answers. Sometimes they need presence. Listen. Fully. Without rushing. Without judging. Without making it about you. That habit alone can save relationships. Because when people feel heard, walls come down. Trust grows. And trust is everything. Without trust, relationships become survival. Not connection. Habit number 2, express appreciation. People leave places where they feel invisible. Remember that. Appreciation keeps love alive. Not expensive gifts. Not dramatic speeches. Simple appreciation. A thank you. A compliment. Acknowledgement. There's a story of a father who worked every day. Long hours. Providing. Sacrificing. But nobody thanked him. Years passed. One day his daughter wrote him a note. Dad, thank you for everything you do. He cried. Not because of the words. But because he finally felt seen. That's the power of appreciation. People are carrying invisible burdens. And appreciation lightens them. Your friend may look strong. But may be tired. Your partner may seem okay. But may be overwhelmed. Your parent may act normal. But may be struggling. Appreciation reminds them. I see you. And that matters. A lot. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on gratitude as a way of strengthening perspective. Gratitude changes relationships too. Because what you appreciate, you nurture. Try this habit. Every day, tell someone one thing you appreciate about them. Watch what changes. Connection grows where gratitude lives. Habit number 3, control your tone. Words matter. But tone? Tone can wound deeper. You can say the right words the wrong way. And destroy everything. A son once told his mother, "I was just telling the truth." And she replied, "Truth without kindness becomes cruelty." That stayed with him forever. Think about how many arguments begin not because of what was said, but how it was said. Tone carries emotion. Respect. Energy. A harsh tone creates defense. A calm tone creates safety. And safety creates openness. Before speaking, pause. Ask yourself, how will this sound? Not just what will I say. Because emotional intelligence is not silence. It's wise expression. And wise expression protects relationships. There's a reason Epictetus taught self-control. Because uncontrolled emotion destroys peace. Especially in relationships. And often, the damage happens fast. One angry sentence. One disrespectful tone. One careless moment. Be mindful. Because words cannot be taken back. Habit number 4, be consistent. Love is not proved in big moments. It's proved in consistency. Showing up. Checking in. Keeping your word. Being reliable. A friend who appears only when convenient is not dependable. A partner who disappears emotionally creates insecurity. Consistency builds trust. And trust builds security. There's a story of 2 friends. One called every week. Simple. Short. Consistent. The other only called when needing help. Years later, guess who remained close? The consistent one. Because relationships are built through repeated effort. Not occasional intensity. Consistency says, you matter. Even in small ways. A text. A call. A visit. A check-in. Small things. Big impact. People remember consistency. It creates emotional safety. And emotional safety creates strong bonds. Habit number 5, learn to apologize. Pride ruins relationships faster than mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone. But not everyone repairs. That's the difference. A sincere apology heals. A defensive apology wounds. There's a difference between "I'm sorry you feel that way" and "I'm sorry I hurt you." One avoids responsibility. The other accepts it. A young man stopped speaking to his brother for 5 years. 5. Over one argument. One day he heard his brother had been sick. He rushed to see him. And the first thing he said was, "I'm sorry." Years of distance dissolved in tears. Why? Because pride had kept them apart. But humility restored them. Don't wait too long. Apologize when needed. Not because you're weak. Because the relationship matters. And strong people know how to repair. Not just defend. These habits seem simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. Simple habits require awareness. Intentionality. Effort. And most people lose relationships because they stop being intentional. They assume love can survive on autopilot. It can't. Relationships require maintenance. Like a home. Ignore it long enough. Things break. And if you're still listening, ask yourself honestly. Which of these habits am I missing? Listening. Appreciation. Consistency. Better tone. Apology. Awareness is the beginning of change. And change begins with action. Not tomorrow. Today. Let's continue. Because relationships are not tested when everything is easy. They are tested when emotions are high. When expectations are unmet. When misunderstandings happen. That's where habits matter most. Not during peace. During tension. And the next habit may be one of the hardest. Habit number 6, practice patience. Patience is love in slow motion. Think about it. People grow differently. Heal differently. Think differently. And sometimes, what frustrates you about someone is simply the fact that they are still growing. A father once tried teaching his son how to tie his shoes. The child kept getting it wrong. Again. And again. And again. The father became frustrated. Raised his voice. The boy's eyes filled with tears. And softly he said, "I'm trying." That broke the father. Because in that moment, he realized. Impatience doesn't speed growth. It damages confidence. That's true in every relationship. People need room to grow. Room to make mistakes. Room to learn. Patience creates that room. And patience is not weakness. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about tolerance, understanding that people are imperfect, just as we are. That perspective changes everything. Before reacting, ask. Is this worth damaging the relationship over? Sometimes the answer is no. Patience protects what anger destroys. Habit number 7, set healthy boundaries. Many people think boundaries push people away. That's not true. Healthy boundaries protect relationships. Without boundaries, resentment grows. A woman kept saying yes to everyone. Family. Friends. Work. Everyone. Until one day she felt empty. Exhausted. Angry. Not because people were bad. But because she never protected her space. She confused love with self-sacrifice. And that's dangerous. Because when you abandon yourself for others, resentment follows. Boundaries say, I care about you, but I also respect myself. That matters. Strong relationships need clarity. What is okay? What is not? What hurts? What heals? Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines. And good people respect them. If someone becomes angry because you set boundaries, it often reveals what they benefited from before. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Protect your values. Because healthy love respects limits. Habit number 8, stop keeping score. This destroys relationships quietly. I did this for you. You never do enough. I always give more. Scorekeeping turns love into competition. And love is not a transaction. A husband once told his wife, I washed the dishes 3 times this week. She replied, do you want a trophy for helping in your own home? It sounds funny. But it reveals something deep. When relationships become about counting effort, connection weakens. Because love isn't measured like business. Yes, effort should be balanced. But constant scorekeeping creates tension. Not teamwork. Real connection asks, how can we grow together? Not, who did more? Focus on contribution. Not calculation. That mindset changes everything. Habit number 9, be emotionally available. Presence is more than being physically there. You can sit beside someone and still be absent. Emotionally unavailable people create loneliness inside relationships. A little girl once said about her father. He's home, but he's not here. That's heartbreaking. And common. Phones. Stress. Work. Distraction. They steal presence. And presence is one of the greatest gifts you can offer. Look people in the eyes. Put the phone down. Pay attention. Be there. Fully. A friend once lost his mother. At the funeral, many people gave speeches. Advice. Words. But one friend sat beside him in silence for hours. No speech. Just presence. Years later, that was what he remembered most. Not words. Presence. Because presence heals. People remember how present you were during their difficult moments. Be there. Not halfway. Fully. Habit number 10, forgive faster. Holding pain for too long poisons connection. And often. It poisons you too. Forgiveness does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means choosing peace over bitterness. A man carried anger toward his friend for years. Every time he thought about it, his mood changed. His energy dropped. His peace disappeared. One day, an older man told him. Your anger is a prison your friend doesn't live in. That hit hard. Because unforgiveness often traps the person holding it. Not the one who caused it. Seneca the Younger warned about anger consuming reason. And it does. Forgiveness frees you. And sometimes it repairs relationships. Not always. But it frees your heart. And freedom matters. Choose peace. Habit number 11, ask better questions. Many people don't know how to deepen relationships. Here's how. Ask better questions. Not just, how was your day? But, what's been weighing on your mind lately? Not, are you okay? But, what's something you've been struggling to say? Depth creates connection. Surface conversation maintains distance. A son once asked his grandfather. What was your biggest regret? The grandfather answered. Not telling people I loved them enough. That one question changed their relationship forever. Questions unlock hearts. Use them wisely. Habit number 12, keep your word. Trust is built through promises kept. And destroyed through promises broken. Even small promises matter. I'll call you. I'll be there. I'll help. If you say it. Honor it. A boy once waited by the window for his father to show up. His father promised. But never came. The boy grew up remembering not the absence. But the broken word. That's the thing. Broken promises leave emotional marks. Be careful. Reliability builds security. And security strengthens relationships. Your word should mean something. To others. And to yourself. Because integrity is attractive. And rare. Relationships don't need perfection. They need effort. Awareness. Patience. Respect. And the willingness to grow. And growth is uncomfortable. Because it forces you to confront habits that may be hurting the people you love. That's maturity. Not blaming. Reflecting. Improving. And if you're still here, ask yourself. Am I easy to love? Am I easy to trust? Am I easy to communicate with? Those questions matter. Because relationships mirror who we are. If there's chaos everywhere, sometimes the first place to look is within. Follow the Stoic Path for more wisdom on emotional intelligence, self-mastery, and building stronger relationships.